Dear friends, welcome back to my channel. Let's read. Before proceeding, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe the channel. From the timeless collection of Kamla Das, let's read Sanatan Chaudhary's wife. Let's begin. His marriage was 6 years old when Gopi Menon began to suspect that his wife was deceiving him. One morning, 2 hours after midnight, he woke up and drowsily moved closer to his wife. Still half asleep and without opening her eyes at all, she embraced him and whispered, "Sanatan, my love." Sanatan? Whose name was it? Menon could get no sleep afterwards. Even when the brilliance of the sun entered through their window, he was lying awake and afraid in the snuggery of her arms. But he was too proud to rouse her from her slumber, to ask her about the mysterious Sanatan. When she was making breakfast in the kitchen, he opened her wardrobe to have a look at her clothes. Oh, how did she manage to buy for herself all those silk sarees? He had given her one last Diwali, but there were more than 50 silk sarees in the cupboard, swinging shimmerly from their hangers. She carried the tray to the bedroom, asking, "What are you searching for in my cupboard? How did you get so many expensive sarees?" he asked. "Aren't these the genuine kanjivarams?" Kanjivarams? Oh, she laughed aloud. The canine tooth that protruded a little made her mouth prettier. He had always thought that her smile resembled Audrey Hepburn's. "These sarees one can pick up for 10 rupees. They are art silk brought here by a man from Matunga who sells them to all the ladies in this building," she said, still laughing in the mirth. When he was standing on the platform waiting for the fast train to Bandra, he suddenly decided to put her to a test to clear his own mind of suspicion. He returned home immediately. When he reached the end of their street, he stopped in surprise. His wife was coming out of their house swinging a handbag and wearing a blue sari. He hid behind a lamppost. She was walking fast towards the taxi stand. He caught a taxi and followed her. At Ridge Road, in front of a huge house surrounded by a garden, she stopped her cab. She opened the gate and disappeared into the house. He dismissed his taxi and loitered near the gate. He could see the heavy door of the portico open and a servant greet her with a salute. Then the door closed. Menon walked around the house and reached the open window of a large room at the back, which he recognized as the dining room. He peered in through the panes. His wife was seated opposite an elderly man at a large dining table and was busy eating her breakfast. The man was in a silk dressing gown. After she had finished eating, she rose to kiss the man gently on his forehead. He fondled her for a minute. When she left the room, the man lit a cigarette and began to read the newspaper. Menon was shocked. Was she capable of such deception? This girl born and brought up in a Kerala village? How could she enter into another man's house, eat a Western-style breakfast with him, and allow him to fondle her? Oh God, let this be nothing but a nightmare, prayed Menon. With newfound courage, he walked up to the portico and rang the bell. "Open the door," he roared out to the inmates of the house. A servant opened the door and scrutinized his shabby work clothes with disdain. "I must see your master immediately," said Menon. "The Sahab and Mim Sahab are having their breakfast. You will have to wait for a short while," said the servant. "What is your name?" "My name is Gopi Menon," said the aggrieved husband. In a few minutes, the host came to the door. He extended his well-manicured hand to Menon. "I am Sanatan Chaudhary," he said. "What can I do for you?" "I heard from somewhere that you wish to let out a portion of this house," said Menon. "I have come to find out if it is true." "Somebody has been playing a practical joke on you," said Chaudhary. "This was built 10 years ago according to a plan drawn by my wife herself. All 4 of my children were born in this house, so neither my wife nor I will ever dream of letting out any part of this house to strangers. At that moment, she entered the portico. When she saw Menon, she quickly covered her head with the edge of her sari and tried to return to the interior of the house. Wait for a second, Mrinalini, said Chaudhry. This poor gentleman was led to believe that we were letting out a portion of our house. Somebody was obviously trying to tease him. She smiled pleasantly, revealing the prominent canine which made her smile so special, so Audrey Hepburnish. Somebody has been trying to fool you, she said. Oh, I am so sorry to have bothered you in the morning, said Menon. Oh, that does not matter, said Chaudhry. Goodbye, said Menon, and walked away without looking back at the couple. Watching him from the shaded portico outside the gate on the grey cemented pillar, there was a brass plaque with the name Sanatan Chaudhry chased on it. Menon could not bring himself to give a backward glance at the lady wearing blue, although she resembled his wife to a remarkable degree. Suspicion is a kind of a poison weed, he told himself as he walked to the nearest bus stop. Dear friends, this is the end of the short story. Please stay tuned for another such story. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe the channel. Thank